You think he's worth $15 million?
I'm not the one paying him. You get what I'm saying? I'm not the one paying them, but if I was in their situation, I'm not going to risk breaking up one of the best backcourts in the league over $3 million when we see the contracts that other players
who worth 15?
And that's probably how Clay is looking.
If freaking David Lee's worth $15 million, if David Lee's worth $15 million, Klay Thompson's worth $15 million. Paying David Lee $15 million, he's 31 years old. He's old now.
It's
You gotta
it's
look.
Almost like a perfect storm.
You gotta look at what you want as your nucleus and what you want going forward.
Yeah.
If you want him going forward, pay the man.
Yeah.
If you don't want him going forward, don't pay him. Go pay somebody else. You're going to give the money to somebody, so give it to the person you want more.
I'll tell you what.
And the most important part is the most important part is that he wants to beat it. Okay? When there were talks of him being traded away, he actually felt bad. He wants to play in Golden State. He wants to keep the backcourt together with him and Stephen Curry. So that relationship may be damaged going forward if they don't give him one.
Gotcha. This team will be interesting here, so we'll see what happens with this team here. And so you say, I know with the whole Mark Jackson situation here now. So I agree with you that he did kind of get the cold shoulder, Mark Jackson, but
Mark Jackson didn't get a cold shoulder. Mark Jackson got treated like shit.
Yeah. Yes.
That's how you put it.
Yes.
You didn't get cold shoulder. He got treated like shit.
Yes.
And he is a way better coach than who they got now. Just saying. Just saying. This guy got the job because Phil Jackson went out and said he wanted him as his coach. So everybody freaked out because the great and almighty Phil said that he was going to be a good coach. They went and got him. Not knowing that the almighty Phil was going to make him his do-boy. That's why he wanted him in New York, because whoever he brought to New York was going to be Phil Jackson's do-boy.
Yeah.
He was going to be a face that if things got messed up, they could blame him and not blame Phil. So now everybody went, Phil wants him. Now we want him. And now you treated a guy that was a good coach for dirt to bring in a guy who's never coached before and is probably not going to be as good as who you had in there before.
Interesting, huh? Gotcha.
Because everybody thinks what Phil say is law when they're going to find out quick he's only in New York for that money they gave him. And then he's out.
Oh, man, that'd be interesting here.
What a bitch. Oh, sorry.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the next.
Sorry, my hatred from New York just grows more and more and more and more and more. And I love watching them lose in football.
All right, yeah, I mean, my thoughts on Golden State, too, is that they're a team that offensively, they're fun to watch. One of the best teams, like prolific three-point shooting, up and down the court. You can only ask if Andrew Bogut can stay healthy. That's been an issue with him, too.
Defensively, they're like a colander.
Yeah.
A strainer, if you will.
Andrew Bynum's really did. Well, not about to say Andrew Bynum. Andre Iguodala.
Did you just say Andrew Bynum?
I did. Yeah, there was Andrew Bynum.
Where did Andrew Bynum come from?
I was thinking of Andre. I'd have got Andrew out of it, but Andre Iguodala is pretty much the only competent defender on the team. But even that, when the offense goes good, you kind of slips off a bit.
Exactly.
So
they're like a strainer, though.
Right.
They're like a strainer.
Yeah, but
they only keep the offense in, and the defense flows right out the bottom.
So you got a guy. Mark,
they keep the spaghetti, but the water just goes away.
But you got a guy who preached defense, was trying to get him improved. So now you get a guy who's
who is known for 3-point shooting.
So you don't need 3 points.
And his front office work. And a guy that Phil said would make a good coach, so everyone freaked out. Yeah, no.
Well, we'll see how that train goes. And we'll see that Clay contract extension discussions get in the way of everything as far as...
They got until Friday.
They do.
They have until Friday.
So, we'll see. All right, next team, we want to talk about the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns.
The Shuns.
Was 48-34, barely missed the playoffs.
The Shuns. That's why I call them the Shuns.
Shuns.
They got shunned out.
They pretty much added Isaiah Thomas. They added Anthony
Not
Tolliver.
that Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah, not that Isaiah Thomas.
They'd added him, I know.
Yeah. They also lost Channing Frye and Leandro Barbosa.
Who?
Yeah, Channing Frye and Leandro Barbosa.
How's Channing Frye working out?
Who? What do they do?
Channing Frye is playing Xbox 3.
No, right now he's serving Frye.
Oh my God.
during his hurt time,
he hit a couple of threes last year.
He's serving Frye right now.
We'll say Channing Frye impact for the East discussion.
What impact?
That's safe for the moment.
Impact knee? Impact groin? Impact? Oh, never mind.
So yeah, they went ahead and got the Eric Bledsoe. You know, he was a whole deal
Thank God.
Season. Now he's re-signed back with the team.
Thank God.
So now this is supposed to be the projected lineup. Here you got.
They are the reverse of my fantasy team, where I'm all bigs, they're all guards.
Yeah, you got Gordon Dragic, Eric Bledsoe, P.J. Tucker, Markieff Morris, and Miles Plumlee. He's to be on the team here. Gerald Green is a reserve that came off the bench who had a great year. It seemed like Gerald Green is finally getting it.
Gerald.
Because he's been a journeyman since he bounced around early in his career. So, I mean, what y'all think about Gerald Green? Because this is a guy that had all the time in the world. Now it seems like he's realized how to put it together.
He worked on his shot. Now he's got his shot going. And now you see what he can do now that he's got that shot going.
Your thoughts about this team and Gerald Green, CL?
As far as Gerald Green, Andrew Wiggins, please pay attention to that career trajectory, okay? He's finally put it together. It all started when he had that short stint in Indiana. That's when he really started to become a complete player, maturity, shot-wise, and everything else. Phoenix, I believe, is going to make the playoffs this year. I think Eric Gordon. Oh my goodness, Eric Gordon. Listen, man.
You're messing up too. What is everybody can't talk?
I'm sorry, I got an 80-pound dog on me.
We are a podcast. We have to make talking our go-to thing. Stop talking about Andrew Bynum and other people that aren't even on the team.
So I messed up on
Jesus Christ. Can't take y'all guys nowhere.
Hey.
Resume.
Hey, I'm an old man.
Shut up. I'm old. My memory's shot, but I still know Andrew Bynum doesn't play.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. And that was the young person that flubbed that up.
All right, go ahead and resume.
Oh, boy.
You say you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I think they're going to make the playoffs. And let's not forget, we have not one Dragic, but we have two Dragiches now.
Oh,
now that we have Zoran on the team as well.
They Dragic them out of where they're from. Hi-oh! Oh.
They're going to be a fun bunch. Jeff Hornacek has proved that he's a great coach. Phoenix is definitely going to make playoffs this year.
All right.
They're an older version of Minnesota.
Yeah,
they're a little older version of Minnesota.
All right.
They're fun, athletic, but they have experience on their side, so they'll be able to push into the playoffs.
So to touch on Fry's impact,
even though here we go again, he keeps freaking making picks for the playoffs when he could have waited to the end of this show.
All right, so Channing Frye, his next 4 game may be gone.
Can't have gone where?
Gone to Disney World. But we'll talk about his
gone
Disney
to Hertzville.
World period, but you know they still have great 3-point shooters there in Dragic at 40.8 and Gerald Green 40%. So
he went pure.
They really don't. I guess Morris is he not shooting a little bit, but Channing Frye was definitely spreading it out for him. So do you think that stretch 4 won't mess up this team at all? You still think that won't be a problem, CL? Even though I know you said you got them making the playoffs, they had that stretch 4 and Channing Frye that doesn't. You still don't see that being a problem, then, huh?
Not at all. When you're going to run a 3-guard lineup, which I'm pretty sure they're going to run a heap of this season, that will accommodate for not having the stretch 4.
All right, so let's move forward here and talk about the Sacramento Kings. 28 wins.
Let's not. Next.
54 losses.
Next.
Pass.
Next.
I'm going to talk about them.
You can talk next. You're going to think Andrew Bynum plays for him.
This is a team that I think that will be interesting with DeMarcus Cousins on coming this year.
Did he bring in all of his cousins to play with him?
DeMarcus Cousins played for Team USA, and that seemed like that was one guy who really benefited from this experience. So you think that's something to talk about? Also,
no,
you got.
That's why we kept saying next.
Nick Stauskas versus Ben McLemore for the starting two-guard position. We already talked about Nick Stauskas in the news about him being white.
Well, that he is. Yes, he's white.
And saying that they just assume because he defends.
It's true. He's white.
Yeah, and they saying he can defend. So this is a team that's got Darren Carlson that just came over, and so he's gonna run the point guard position. You got Rudy Gay, and DeMarcus Cousins. I think he can probably be in the All-Star game this year. I'm gonna talk about him. Y'all not gonna talk about him.
Yeah,
so,
you go ahead next.
So Ramon said this team here is still interesting. They're still coming up. They won't. I think they won't make the playoffs, but they will be a fun team to watch on the fence. Believe me,
they ain't gonna come nowhere.
They're gonna be a fun team to watch with DeMarcus Cousins development and with Nick Stauskas, who I would have loved to draft on the Magic, by the way. But it's an interesting team that I'm gonna keep tabs on. And even though y'all keep saying Nets, we'll go and keep it going and move forward. And we'll talk about
Nets,
the Los Angeles Lakers.
Nets. No, next!
They're 27-55 last year.
And guess what? They're going to be the same.
And
next!
So this is a team where Kobe, they say Kobe Bryant is angry.
Hold on.
They feel like he's being disrespected.
Look, I'm about to break it down for you the whole time. Kobe's old. He's not as good as he used to. They're run by a bunch of idiots. That's all you got to know about the Los Angeles Lakers. They're ran by people that think no one wants to. If they don't want to come because Kobe's there and they don't want to play with Kobe, then we don't want them anyway. You better want whoever the hell you can get to come to L.A. But Kobe's the reason nobody wants to come. So everyone is correct. So Jenny Buss, shut up. You sound like, guess what? A woman talking about sports. Go home, go watch Frozen, and let it go. You got Carlos Boozer on your team now. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Steve Nash came over and actually... No, Steve Nash
is
hurt.
Steve Nash is hurt. Steve Nash is gone.
No, Jeremy Lin came over. That's
yeah. Steve Nash retired. He's gone. Now they got the Asian sensation.
So, yeah, Jeremy Lin, you can probably think he's going to be starting now because Steve Nash... hurt himself lifting luggage and other things.
He's old.
So
Steve Nash is 437 years old. The older he got, the more his eyes started going towards his nose. There was no coming back for Steve.
So
none.
So as
he was doing all them exercises and hurt himself picking up his luggage. It better have been his wife's luggage. So, because he's a little dude, so he shouldn't really have that heavy of luggage.
As me and you and CL agree, Brian Scott said, I love it. I love the fact that pretty much everyone has written us off. That's fuel for the fire.
What fire? They ain't got a bonfire going on. They got one of them little kindling fires just to roast your marshmallows over. And then it can't get them all the way burnt. You know how when you burn them and they all become black? Yeah, it can't even do that to them. It's just going to make them brown and that's it.
You want to discuss this, CL, or should we?
Can't even make s'mores with their fire.
Should we keep? What do you think, CL? Go ahead and give me your diagnosis of the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, I just want to talk about Nash for a minute. When you don't walk away, the basketball gods always have the final say.
Thank you, Walter.
And he should have walked away a couple of years ago. This was one of the most freakish injuries I've ever seen or heard of since I've been watching basketball.
I don't know.
25 years.
This one, and somebody hurting their wrist in a shower.
Oh yeah,
singing.
He was not singing. He was whacking off and hit the sink. We all know what happened.
Hey,
that's what happened.
So
he was doing the stranger. Whack! Oh, my wrist.
Go ahead, CL.
Wrist injury, singing, it all don't fit.
I just remember the narrative with Nash when he admitted that he was playing